So in this video, I'm gonna talk about some general stuff about becoming a freelance web designer. And I'm gonna focus on mainly this 99designs.com website, which is a very great, if not the greatest platform to actually work as a freelance web designer and enter into projects and contests. So to actually work on 99 Designs, you have to register, obviously, and after you have done that and logged into your account, you can go to these contests, for example, and browse contests. I'm gonna show you what you should look at if you are browsing among the contests. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna filter the contests, and I'm gonna go for the least entries first because I don't want to race in a very highly populated contest. So I want the best chance for me to win an actual contest. And the second thing that you have to look out is the contest holder. Now, for example, if I click on this contest holder, it's gonna tell me that the contest holder had 3 contests, and well, actually, one was completed, and he paid for it, which is really important, because sometimes it can happen that the contest holder holds a contest, and then when the contest finished, they decide to not pay because they say that none of the actual designs were good enough for them. But most of the times what's really happening is they like a design, but they don't want to pay that amount of money for it, so they're gonna end the design and they take the inspiration they get from the designer and do it on their own or with other people who don't want that amount of money for that work. So it can happen, but most of the times this site is legit and you can work on this site without any hesitation. But you have to look out for this kind of scenario that it can happen. So this is a preemptive thing or method or process that you can do to make sure that you will get paid if you do a good job. So this is a very important part to look out for. Now the second is always read the description. So for example, if I click on this contest, I can go for brief, and here's the description. Now if you are working on a web design contest or a project, then you have to look at the price of the contest. And if they ask for example, 5 pages, that's a lot, but for enough money, it can be it can worth. So like if they pay you, for example, more than $1,000 for 5 pages, then you should go for it because that's a very great hourly wage. So I'm gonna go back and see if there is a contest like that. I'm gonna go for web and app design and see, yeah, here is a contest that pays quite a good amount of money. And let's see what it says. So they need an app designed. They need a home page. They need listings and listing forms, which is quite some work, but I think it's still manageable and it will still worth the $1,000 for your work. Let's see others. For example, let's see this 700 one. And as you can see, there are already 2 designers who have submitted their work, but they haven't got any ratings. And that's very important that when you enter a contest, and if the contest already has about 1 or 2 very highly rated designs, then you should think about entering because you are already an underdog since you have 1 or more very great designs. So you have to work really, really hard and very creatively to get a good rating. So that's very important as well. So as you can see, they don't have any ratings. So let's see the brief. They need a web app for a simple insurance register. They need a landing page, a details page, and that's it. Well, I think as a web app designer, this is quite a good contest, to be honest, because it pays $700 for 2 pages, which is not much. And I think if I would be a web designer, I would totally go for this. So like, this is one of the best contests. But there are other big contests as well. So like really big ones, more than $2,000, stuff like that. But I can't see them. Let's see highest price first. Yeah, as you can see, these are gold package ones. They pay very good. Then there are some platinums as well sometimes, which you cannot enter until you are an experienced designer, and the site approves that you are a really good designer. After you have read the description and read it very carefully, because you don't want to waste your time doing something that turns out to be a really bad method or thing that the contest holder don't like, or something like that. For example, colors. You have to always pick the colors they tell you to pick. Well, most of the times they will say that, for example, I like blue and yellow, but you can try out some new things. But most of the times you want to go for blue and yellow. So because they said that and they liked it, and that's a bigger chance to succeed if you pick what they want, because that's why you are here, to create something they want. And after you have submitted your design, you can submit your design by clicking on this button here. You have to always monitor other submissions, so like other designs. If you can see their designs, for example, in this design you can't, because as you can see, this is a blind contest. That means that you cannot check their design, which is cool because they are not going to copy you and they are not going to get any inspiration from your work, but neither will you. So it's a two-sided sword. I would say it's a very good method to get a higher rating by checking other designs, but if you can't, then there you go. After that, while you are submitting, you can, I'm going to show you, while you are submitting, you can provide a short description or a short comment. And you always want to ask for a feedback, because that means that you are a serious competitor and the contest holder will look at you as a serious and very important part of this contest. So you always want to do that. The other thing is, if you have the time and if it's not a really big design contest, then you should go for multiple submits, so multiple designs. So you, for example, create a design with an element in it, and then you create a design without that element, for example, because, you know, some people may like it, some people may don't. So that's a good method to actually win a contest. And what else? Yeah, the mockup that we have used previously. It's a very great way to present a design or a product. For example, if you are creating a packaging design or something, you are always want to go for a mockup design, because that way the contest holder will see how the product is gonna look like in real life. So that's very important as well. And you always want to check the revisions. So if they check your design and rate it, you always want to be there as soon as possible and as soon as they review your design, because then you can work on your design and fix issues and fix some designing elements as soon as you can. So it's very important as well. The last thing is getting rejected. That is, if you don't win, you don't have to go and cry in the corner, because that's not the end of the world. Most of the times you won't win. That is because a lot of designers are on this page, and are not only in this page. There are a lot of freelance designers in the world, so you will win most of the times about 10 or maybe 20% of your contests, and that's a good amount of contests to win, I think, because, for example, I've created my design in an hour. So if you do the math, if I create 10 contests, 10 designs, sorry, in 10 hours, and I get paid about $250, it's still a very good hourly wage. Because, you know, I got $25 for an hour of work, working home. So that's still very good. But you don't have to do little jobs. So you don't have to do 150 or 200 and $250 jobs. You can do bigger ones that I've shown you before, like the $1,500 ones, if you are very good at what you are doing. So you always have to know what to pick, which contest to pick. So, and you have to practice, because without practice you are not gonna win anything, to be honest. So yeah. So I would say this is the end of this lecture, because I don't have anything else to say right now. But if I remember anything I should have said, then I'm gonna create another video and talk about that in the future. But for now, I would like to say thanks for taking this course, thanks for watching this lecture, and I hope that you have learned something new. If not, at least you have practiced something. So yeah, thank you very much again, and see you in the discussion forums.